everybody, and welcome back to the Plebian Racing Small Wheels Championship. This is Season 2, Round 3 at Tsukuba Circuit. Short little track, expecting to see lap times well under 3/4 of a second here. As you see, the slowest time still under 45 seconds out of 44.220 by Blizzard himself. Looking at the championship right now, driver standings are the Penguin VR in P1 so far in the championship. 77 points, 17-point lead ahead of Martin. Carson Schultze, Rowe, just Rowe. We also have in P5 Smoke, 6 Deceptic, Joseph Chow in 7, Patrick Brandon Williams, Kevin Espena in P10, and following down the list are people who had D and Fs in a couple of the races. Looking at the points though, Martin is only 17 points back from the Penguin. Back from him, Schultze is only 5 points back from Martin in P3, and then it starts getting a little bit bigger. Rowe is just Rowe, is only 6 points back from Schultze, and then tighter as Smoke and Deceptic, 2 points separated. Joseph Chow for 26 tied with Patrick in P8, Brandon Williams in 9th with 20, and Espena with 15 points. That is going to finish off our review here, as I think we know what's going to happen. Penguin is going to set some ridiculously fast laps during the race and continue this trend of gold bars in the championship standing. Forcing the victors to make their way through the field in the chaos that will be Tsukuba. With these little non-Evo machines, these non-Evo machines, these guys I think will be on the for most of this lap, lifting and coasting through a couple parts as they grip up the front end, just drop it down. Grip up the front end to get it turned in, and then hit the gas to grip it back up at the rear, shift the balance back, and see. Power through these turns as we are on board with Martin, pole sitter right now provisionally. Probably at least 2 more laps or 2 more chances this fella. Not quite his fastest, but he's knocking on the door. Let's stay on. Kevin Espena is out for a lap. Is he going to knock on the door of Martin? See if he can get a provisional pole for the first race. Rowe, just Rowe, sitting patiently back in 3rd. And where's the Penguin? Back in 7th place. Maybe he did not get his practice in today. Sitting back there in 7th place. And the times are still very, very, very close. 9/10 or less than, separating 1 through 7 here. Sad to see that a couple people have just not returned just saying. Hopefully people will be here by the second race. With Septic logging in just at the end of qualifying. We'll take his 10th place, excuse me, 8th place, just behind Penguin. He'll be in front of me. We have Martin with a 43.629, closely followed by Kevin Ospina. Rowe with a 43.9. Wow, just 0.3. Oh wow, not even 400th separating 1 and 2. 0.3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, 5. Excuse me, almost 5, just in 0.3. So we have Azumina, if he can shave off just a few thousandths there, he'll be up in contention for a podium spot today. At least if he can keep up with the field ahead. You know, just be cognizant of any mistakes and not be too opportunistic, but get him where you can, I think is going to be the key. Penguin, I wonder what is going on. Maybe he is going for a last to first challenge on race 1. Do it in race 1 and race 2. Force it twice in a row here. Like I said, maybe he just didn't get his practice in. He's not too far off the pace, only about 0.6 off. I'm sure he can shave off some of that time with just a little bit of drafting. These little mad Formula student cars. That's what they're called. Mad Formula student cars. Open wheel vehicles. Not sure what to call that. Never mind. I won't even say it. My mind went to something vulgar and not the place or the time. As we are just finishing up the waiting period for qualifying, I'm gonna make sure that the grid was not waiting for me, as sometimes it does that. So apologize for the delay, but we'll restart AC. We can hopefully get back in just in time for the start of the race. The waiting period is now over. Fantastic. Perfect. Going through the grid, Kevin Ospina in P2. Zumina in P5. As we are waiting for the lights to come on and go out here at the Tsukuba circuit. 15 seconds, 15 minutes remaining on this race. Optimum track, 26 degrees, 36 for the track. It's a scorcher as the lights are coming on. 4, 5. Martin is taken to the pits. What has happened? Oh, as we have a false start. Oh no, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Kevin Ospina just stopped on the straight as people are darting all around, unsure of what to do. And who is this in the lead? This is getting all jumped around. Rowe is pulling over to the side. No, Rowe's taking to the lead, excuse me. Patrick following behind. Zumina taking up a couple places here. Dissectic in 4th. Penguin, Blizzard. I don't know what's going on, and there's madness here at the first big turn after T1 as the field has gotten all sorts of clustered. I have a feeling like someone's going to vote to restart the session here, especially with the pole sitter and runner-up both. Well, we still have someone just sitting here at the start. Yep, looks like there will possibly be a restart. Well, this Penguin just pulls over, but it's going again. great. As the race is now getting, it's doing something. I don't know what it's doing, but it's doing something. Blizzard's gonna take first place, I guess. Penguin's coming back after letting him through like he wants. This is race 1, my friend. This is race 1. A lot of madness going on. Unsure of what's actually make of this. Trying to get out of camp and do its thing, and we jump on board with Blizzard. Is being hunted by Penguin, who let him by at the straight as the grid is being reset. I think, yeah, that was a cluster to say the least. As we're gonna go ahead and get back to a cam where we can watch the start of this race. 41 seconds remaining as we get ready to get this race going. And my sound files are missing for my Stream Deck. I'm so sorry. Ugh. Heartbreakers. Heartbreakers for everybody. There we go. I got a new hard drive recently, so I apologize. All my stream OBS stuff has been messed up as we have the lights coming on. And they are about to go out for hopefully a clean start, and everybody can get on the way as we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zumina with a false start. I would presume that's going to be a drive-through for him right away for taking that, as Martin's making a move on the outside, staying ahead of Espena on the outside. So we have turn 1 going through the S's into 3 or 4. I can't really tell. Tsukuba's a tricky circuit with so many tight little turns. Like, oh no! And Espena has turned Martin around at the end of the second big turn, and Martin is at the back of the field now, punished for hanging around the outside of Espena on lap 1. And Espena, I don't believe, quite waited up for Martin, but Zumina possibly having a moment himself there. We're on board with Espena, who's fighting back with Rowe. We might get a taste of the Martin killing there. Oh wait, guys, we're on board with Zumina. Had to go through the pits. Oh, he is serving that penalty as we are missing the pass. Step on camp with Rowe and Espena. Back to Zumina and Patrick. Let's go to a battle that matters. Oh, okay, thank you very much. On board with Rowe and Espena. Separated by 6 tenths now. As Espena glitched through the curbing. Pardon my startledness. Look at the different lines that they're taking as Rowe takes an early turn in, and Espena just kind of hung it out there a little bit longer. I wonder what that means for their relative pace down the straight, as the gap is growing slightly to Espena and staying static behind for P3. Blizzard is doing a very good job of keeping up as Penguin is falling down the order slightly, fighting with Dipsectic in the back of the field, because we know he didn't have a good qualifying, but he's still going to make the move, trying to hang it around the outside, but Dipsectic sends it up the inside. I'm sure that he's going to have to fight him for it. On board with Dipsectic, looking back at Penguin, looking forward with Dipsectic, as he's got Penguin behind him. He keeps switching up cameras. This is a great battle here. Dipsectic must have been practicing, because he is looking in great form, staying pretty clean, I would say, ahead of Penguin. That's no feat. Excuse me. Now Deceptic that on the inside, forcing Penguin outside of turn 1. Oh, and he gets a little squirrely, forces it. That's a touch, I would assume. Penguin's probably fallen back quite a bit. No, he hasn't. He held on to it somehow. It's right behind Dipsectic. Maybe gave him a little bit of room out of respect, because he wasn't sure how he's going to handle that entry. Rightfully so, because Dipsectic absolutely got squirrely there at turn 1. Spicy almost died. Penguin just needs a fun day for you. It's going to be hard with Dipsectic doing a great job of holding the gap between these two. Oh, as Penguin is trying to make a move the inside of Dipsectic. I think this is going to be the move that's going to make it stick. Oh, as we are on board with Penguin, but Penguin has a moment himself and gets a little squirrely as we saw the reverse Dipsectic was trying to go to that tire on the inside. As Penguin is now under the claws of Patrick, who's gonna make a move on the inside of the other. Oh no! As they do have a moment at turn 3, I'm gonna call it from now on. The end here, and they're both off in the back. So much for your blessing that you were hoping for, Penguin taking out Martin, because that's not happening. Well, actually, the first thing that happened did happen. Svenja took out Martin for the lead, which set him up to be punted by Penguin later, but that didn't happen. Penguin now in 8th place. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. That's not going to be where you want to be. He's giving us maybe a swing at this round. Saying amazing times right now. Full load of fuel. Fastest time of a 43.82. Martin is setting the fastest lap of a 43.81. Not sure if that thousandth, excuse me, that hundredth is really going to make that big of a difference. But his overall pace is there. That could be something for Martin. As we cross the line, 43.8 again. He is holding that. Sector 44.4, 44.0 for Zumina. Gaps are growing and shrinking as we call it out. With Blizzard holding strong on P3. Must have put in a lot of work as well for the Tsukuba circuit. We're just getting more familiar as the time goes by with these little Mad Formula student cars. Because like Lifting is saying, the curve on T1 will spin these things so fast, and if you can just figure out, what kind of balance change or shift will set you off grip, spin you out, you can really just know where to send it. That's all you really need to do. As I was blabbering on, Kevin Espena takes the fastest lap back from Martin, 43.69. That's a steamer. 2/10 faster than anybody that is, excuse me, anybody else's fastest lap. Goodness, I'm fumbling over my words. Ooh, as Penguin snaps right back with a 44.4. He's probably got a lot of damage, but he's trying his damnedest to set the lap with what damage he has. He is going faster than the people in front of him, so expect to see another battle out of the Penguin, fighting with Patrick and Zumina probably, as we're looking at Dipsectic and Zumina battling it out up here. Dipsectic must have had a moment, going a second slower than Zumina behind, as they're coming around the end of T1 as they catch them going into the S's. Overhead cam is beautiful as Dipsectic gets a little squirrely again going over the curves, and maybe Zumina's going to try to go for a nice little over-under, and he is, but that's going to put him on the outside of the following turn, and he hanging around the outside. If Dipsectic's going to use as much track as he possibly can, the green stuff is not friendly for these Mad Formula student cars, and taking the shortest route around, he's able to keep his lead in front of Zumina. What a nice battle we have here for P5 and P6. I feel like Dipsectic has been putting in work and just putting the pressure on the guys around him. As we have a moment from Dipsectic. Oh no, and Zumina has a moment just like Dipsectic on the outside. Hopefully that was not contact. Here as we were on lap 9. Lap 9 of this race. Dipsectic and Zumina. Write that down, excuse me. That's not the way we wanted to see that end. Hopefully there was no contact. Hopefully we'll review that at the end of the session as Martin looks to be like had a moment there. Nope, 43.898. A good lap still. Nothing out of him. Dipsectic was able to recover. Fast, Zumina not so much. Looking like he lost about 5 or 6 seconds on that trade. Dipsectic must have a little bit of damage now. Looks like he's getting a little bit squirrelier. Maybe the balance of his car is just changing more and more dramatically. little bit more. As things get quiet here as we approach, or excuse me, have passed the halfway point here in this race. As I'm looking at the times, just Rowe is 4/10 faster than Ospina as we cross the line, only 2 and a bit seconds back. I wonder if that's going to turn into a battle. There's just about enough time for him to catch him at the end of the race, if I'm not mistaken. This thing is going to feel like an endurance, 45-second laps with another 5 minutes left. They're going to put down another 10 laps probably at least. Excuse me, 11 or almost 12 laps before we're going to see the checkered flag here. So 23, 25 laps. It's going to be the end. 44-1 for Rowe, 44-3 for Blizzard. Rowe is on heaters, setting his fastest of the race just then. Oh, as we watch someone set it into 3 on the curb of those S's. Looks like he was about to get squirrely, but we'll keep an eye on that. Penguin is now caught up to Patrick on the same lap. 44-1, 2/10 faster than Patrick, but he's sitting on quite some hefty damage. I'm not sure how this is going to pan out for him. This is going to be a rough one. See if he can make the move, or if he's just going to be cautious and sit back here behind Penguin. Think he will? Nope. He's going to try to hang it on the outside as he forced Patrick to defend on the inside of the 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, he makes it work on the inside. A nice little switchback at the Parabolica is what I'm going to call it from now on, because I did not study the track. I apologize. Turn 1 side by side. And Penguin downshifts, holding onto the grip, and is able to cut the nose off of Patrick. Gaining that 7th position, coveted championship points that he is going to try to want to grab anything he can grab, hold on to, maintain his lead. That's only 17 points. This is looking pretty good for Penguin as things are going to get shuffled around because of the reverse grid for race 2. Points are going to come back and forth, a little ebb and flow here, as I said at the start of this race. Just trying to get my head around some of the data I am looking at and trying to mathematically figure out where the battles are going to be. Zumina, who had good pace early on, might catch out Dipsectic as Blizzard falls back to Martin somehow, having a moment. Unsure of what happened there to Blizzard. But he would have set a very, very, very slow lap time. I believe that's what happened. He wasn't, yep, 52-1, a 10-second mistake somewhere. 9-second mistake as he gets swooped up by Dipsectic as they're now intertwined in a battle as they go into turn 3. Holy Toledo, this is going to be tight. Dipsectic maintaining his lead. Probably has less damage than what Blizzard's facing based on the 10-second delay in his lap time last lap around. And plus, Blizzard's probably got to get used to some of that grip changing with the arrow he's lost, as Blizzard's going to try to hang it around the outside of the penultimate turn. He is keeping it there as they're going to go into turn 1, nose to tail, as we get a nice top-down view. What a sharp turn in from Deceptic, and that will upset the car. He does maintain the lead, but for how much longer, as Blizzard is taking a look on the outside, so as they sweep through the S's there into 3, maybe go for a little switchback as he knows he's going to have better grip. He's watched it, Dipsectic, get a little swirly in that turn particularly, and make a move on the outside, switch back into the Parabolica, and I think that will be move done for Blizzard, and he does take the lead into the final turn as they are nose to tail. Oh, no longer as I believe that must have been contact from Dipsectic into the rear of Blizzard. That's not great. That was close battle there. I hope that ended up not being contact. Through the final turn, I know the slipstream must have just sucked his nose, or his front wing, right into the back tire of Zumina. But he should have known to have lifted there if that was what happened. Like I said, we'll take a look. That was lap 17. 16 actually, excuse me, 16 with Dip. Take another look at that. That was epic as we're on board with Blizzard and Zumina now. As they are getting squirrely here with 28 seconds left. This will probably be the last lap based on where the leaders are. Excuse me, nope. Everybody will get one more. They go side by side as Patrick's a lap down trying to get intertangled in this, if I'm not mistaken. Who is that? That's Blizzard. No, who is that? Blizzard? Patrick? Penguin. That's Penguin getting tangled up in all this. Oh, Lord, excuse me. That's Zumina, Penguin, and Blizzard all getting tangled up, going through the penultimate turn. As they are side by side, this is going to be an absolute drag race of Slipstream as Autocam fucks me as we go to the line. And we watch the outside of Penguin losing out. Oh no, this is white flag now. Penguin, Blizzard, Zumina, a complete switch up from the inside to the outside there. As Zumina is now losing out in 7th place, going into the S's into 3. Blizzard stays ahead of Penguin somehow. Carries a lot of speed. Penguin's going to have the run on the outside there. A little switchback outside of the penultimate turn as they get ready to get into the front, the back straight before they enter the actual back straight. Before they get to the back straight, Zumina gives Penguin a little love tap there, and I think Penguin might be out. No, he's still hanging on. Looking at the rear end of Zumina and Blizzard. Not going to be happy about that. He's probably going to make some moves happen at the beginning. Oh, as Blizzard tries to check up at the line maybe to give it back to Penguin. I'm not sure about that. Woo! As we have some destruction and frustration coming out at the end of the race. What a beautiful ending. That was a great battle between Blizzard, Penguin, and Zumina. It might have actually come out this way. Kevin Ospina, Rowe, Martin in 3, Dipsectic, Blizzard, Penguin, and Zumina, and then Patrick rounding out the finish here. Depending on where it was at the line, not sure if we're going to have enough time to go looking at the replay before the next race. Oh, hello, Tradion. Thanks for joining us. I completely understand being a little tired and not really wanting to get behind the wheel. Hopefully you can make it out for the next event. There is another race. You could always get dust off the wheel, get the sim racing gloves and socks on, and hop in for race 2 if you are so inclined. Unless you've already grabbed a cold one and headed to the couch. In which case I absolutely do not blame you for sitting out the next event, as we have the boys playing bumper cars. I actually think we can, maybe, perhaps. No, we cannot. We cannot go look at the replay while the session is live, unfortunately. That's just might be a ACC thing that I'm used to, as we have the boys still playing bumper cars in T1. We are in a waiting period, if I'm not mistaken. Before we set the reverse grid for race 2. As we are collected everybody back into the grid. Looks like we are going to get ready for the session to get going. Completely understood. Completely understood. Was it just this one bye week? If I paid attention more, I would know myself. See if we can take a look at the championship. So we had today for 420 indeed, and then we had our next event will be May 4th, so we'll have a bye week on the 27th, and we will be back on the 4th of May, the Cuatro de Mayo, for those of you keeping track at home. And then we'll again skip a week of the 11th, and we'll be back on the 18th, as it looks like we are back in for race number 2 as the countdown is going. Interesting. Interesting. It won't get me off the grid, folks. Uh-oh. This is going to be exciting. Oh, there we go, finally. Thank goodness. Oh, God, that terrified me so much. Whew. As we get going for race number 1, Patrick, Zumina, Penguin, Blizzard, Dipsectic, Martin, Rowe, Espinaz. We have a couple people choking up on the start, dropping the clutch, getting held up. As turn 1 looks clean, Patrick makes his great escape. We have everybody filing in, single file behind, almost neat and orderly, as we have a big move from Penguin into P1 at 3. Holy Toledo, what a move to make at the start of the race. Going for a gap where he saw one and trying to escape with his pace that he didn't quite have in race 1, maybe because of all the damage he had, but he's going to count on everybody else having some moments behind him, as we're getting a beautiful view through the final turn, as everybody is jockeying for position. Dissected getting a nice slipstream from the guys in front, as we have, oh my goodness, Zumina has a moment all on his own, carrying a little bit too much speed through that slipstream I was just talking about, and sends him off into the gravel of turn 1. I think he is warping back to the pits and requesting a new car. Nope, he's collected himself, is back on it, as we're watching Martin get collected by Dipsectic, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, into 3. And that looked like a race-ending, or excuse me, damage-inducing accident there, as he is gonna be at least a quarter of a second slower than the guys in front, especially without that slipstream. But maybe he and Zumina can tag team up and make some things happen. And everybody's crossing the line and still kind of jockeying for position out in front, as we're on board with Martin taking a look at his car. Don't see a lot of damage, but he's gonna have some aero loss in the front, and that might wash him out in a couple places if he's not too careful. So we're back on board with Dipsectic, who is probably going to be under threat from Patrick and Blizzard for the rest of the race, as we saw him defending for his life towards the end of last. Staving people off left and right, as we saw the battle with Penguin. The end there, as Dipsectic does lose out to Patrick. We're going to see them try to swap back into turn 1. Dipsectic rolling off the brakes and hanging it out there. He is able to keep it on through turn 1. Good for him. But let's see if he can make it through 3 with Patrick probably trying to go for a switchback. Nope, tucked in behind, holding on to it very neatly. Good for him. Looking very clean. Every driver getting more and more experience, especially as they get another race under their belt. As I say that, Patrick has a moment right behind Dipsectic, all on his own. I think he just got washed out by the arrow and just spun off. And collect a couple positions that they lost on the first or second lap. Good stuff. As we see Martin coming across the line, let's get an idea of where his pace is at. Excuse me, you already crossed the line. He had already crossed the line. 44.1 for him, looking all right. On pace or on track with the guys ahead. Schultze, what are you up to, buddy? Driving a clean and quiet race, maybe? He's minding his own business, getting hunted down by Martin. Relentlessly. Let's take a look at Rowe, just Rowe, and see that he is, you know, in a little world of his own, about 2 seconds back from Ospina. About 2 seconds back from Ospina, who's sitting about 1.5 seconds back from Penguin, our leader. Get some lap times. Look at the math across the line. 43.6, 43.8, 44.1. Wow, Penguin has pulled the plug. Got some pace out of this Mad Formula student car somehow, some way. He's taking the purple lap. Taking the purple lap of the race. Wow. And you got Noble knocking on the door. Excuse me, Martin. 43.9. Looks to be about the closest next. Ospina's with a 43.7, but not sitting with the last couple laps. He's gonna have 10 minutes to pick up the pace and really put his foot down to see if they can close these gaps. As we're gonna go on board with Schultze, who did get overtaken by Martin as he collects another lap, another championship point in position. 43.6 for Penguin again as he pulls the plug, setting his next fastest lap. Schultze must have had a moment there to lose out as we hear him downshifting over the curb, gaining, really shifting the balance there over the curb, disturbing the car, and then sending him into a uncontrolled slide. As he might be just having too much torque when he downshifts over these curbs and guttering these tires. I think he'd be better off just kind of hanging out in the low revs of the higher gear and carrying the speed through to making this less of a battle and more of a letting the car work for you properly. That makes sense. Haven't driven these things in a while. So it could be absolutely and utterly incorrect with my statements, but tell me about it in the chat if I am. Back to auto cameras. We're gonna ride on board for 7 and 8 here. Zooming in Blizzard like magnets, finding each other on track again. Both of them losing out massively on the start of this race. Look at the progress made since the start. Ospina getting the better end of this race, as he has gained 6 positions from the start alone. Penguin gaining 2. Rowe doing well for himself also, as Blizzard takes it wide into 3 as he's standing off Zumina and Patrick, who is also chomping at the bit for a position when one of these two makes a mistake, going for a move on the other. Uh-oh, Dipsectic having a moment. 44 something, 44.1 as he crossed the line with Martin doing a 43.9. Now he's going to be in the grasp of Blizzard, almost turning in on the dive of Zumina. Looks in the mirror and thinks better of it, smartly, hanging it on the rear end of Zumina, trying to dish it back out, but is unable to make the move, backs out of it as they go through 3, blocked by the Dunlop sign. unfortunately. And where have they gone? As we're back on board. Excuse me, not on board, but watching them through the final turn here now. Beautiful view as auto camera is not doing a goddamn thing to help me out here. Zuna hanging around the outside of T1. A little touch as someone turned in sooner than the other. As they are doing the same thing, and I'm sure Patrick is licking his lips back there going, yes, yes, why don't both of you keep fighting? And I'll take both of those positions off of your hands as they have another moment where they touch going through 3 on the exit. And this is why the cameras keep messing up, so the cameras are limited. Let's see if we can use this view with Sumina trying to go for the same move again. On the outside as Blizzard tries to shut the door, weaving on the straight to tell him where to be for track position. Zumina forcing it deep, being very respectful with the track space he gave to Blizzard. Can we get a overhead camera of the two of these going toe to toe, please? Maybe, as Zumina makes the move on the outside of the exit of 3. On Blizzard, who had a moment on the exit, wiggling, struggling for grip and balance. As Patrick is now looking to make a move, as we're looking at the rear view mirror of Zumina. Get on board with Patrick as he's stepping up the inside of Blizzard. What a nice race they have going on between the 3 of these folks. Three folks. My math is correct. It's been a long day, I apologize. Tredion knows exactly what I'm talking about. He's had a long day himself as we're on board. Patrick looking at Blizzard trying to snap back at Zumina. This is a good view. Ooh, let's try to get something on the bumper maybe. Bumper. Here we go. As we're going to ride on board with Patrick as we watch Blizzard make a move on the inside. There he goes again, but doing it the opposite way this time. Still losing out to Blizzard on this little straight here on the entrance to 3. But if I'm betting man, Zumina's going to do the same switchback through 3. It looks like he's got better traction on the exit here. Maybe something with the dampers or suspension that he's changed to make it a little bit more forgiving over the bumps and undulations of the track. So nose to tail as we get to the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds as they cross the line. Not indicative of how many laps will get left, as the leader is probably about 30 seconds ahead. So we might get an extra bonus lap out of this, depending where the leader crosses. This is a nice spicy battle ahead. I think we probably have the best view in the house. Thank you, Patrick, for providing us this onboard camera as Zumina clips the curb through the S's. They've done that side by side a million times. And that little blade of grass catching Zumina out there for the last time, sending him into a fatal spin as he is going to collect P9 now, unless anybody else in this race has a bigger moment than that. That is unfortunate and not the way you want to see these battles end. But man, they gave a lot of respect to each other. There was a lot of respect for space, track position, who's right to which corner that was. That was good battle. Thank you boys so much for the entertainment as I try to get a grasp on who's doing what and where. As we have Penguin crossing the line. Ospina 5 seconds back nearly. Rowe crossing the line. Also 5 seconds back on his opponent. Dipsectic looking like he's going to be threatening Rowe in the final minutes. Martin is also taking a sniff at the derriere of a podium position, as we might ride on board with him as we're looking at the rear end of Dipsectic in P4, who's gonna try to defend with his heart like a lion, as he probably wished that he was able to grab a podium position, as Blizzard gains one on Schultze, who's having a bit of a wiggle at the exit of 3. Schultze must be having a moment as he's nearing the end of his stint. His tires might be fading, or the balance shift of his car may not be favoring his setup, because he's looking a little bit out of sorts right now. He's clipping the curb and looking like he had a 7-second addition to his lap, causing him to give up a position. And Dipsectic and Martin switching back and forth here right now as we try to grab a good overhead camera of what's going on, as Dipsectic threatening back, hanging on the outside of the penultimate turn as they enter the final turn here. Dipsectic knows smarter to tuck it in. He should tuck it in behind. There you go, buddy. Grab the slipstream, hanging around the outside. Let off early. Do a switchback maybe? No. Side by side through turn 1. He's going for the switchback, tucking it in behind. It's a little straight here in the entrance to turn 3. Hopefully these two do not have a moment like Zumina. Oh my goodness, as Dipsectic makes a lunging switchback into 3, giving Martin a big shoulder before he made his turn in, so I'm not sure that's going to fare with the stewards if there were any, as Martin makes a lunge for the inside of the penultimate turn as they enter the final turn with Martin not quite given the right. He does collect it though, sticking a wheel up the inside. Zuna on the outside, keeping it close, as this will be a bonus lap as they touch into turn 1. Side by side, nose to tail through the S's, as hopefully no one clips any grass over here. Maybe Dipsectic goes for his classic switchback. No, it hangs it around the outside, forcing Martin on the inside. Martin takes to the inside of the next turn. Dipsectic collects his rightful place on the outside, keeping on the throttle. Good. Stealing behind. Hopefully he can collect the drift. Gets off the throttle just a little bit. Hopefully that's not his demise, as these guys are staring down the checkered flag right now. He's going to have to do a little bump and run on Martin to try to collect the position, but loses a little bit of speed in doing that. Bump. Trying to collect the draft back and is unable to get that position. Gives Martin a bump at the end for his money. A beautiful way to end the race. What a nice close battle, as Dipsectic shares his frustration at not getting that position at the end. Going through it, as I said, there was a bit of an ebb and flow to this race because of the reverse grid. Penguin getting P1, Ospenia collecting P2, Rowe getting a P3. Congratulations. Martin collecting P4, if I'm not mistaken. That might have been a 4 and 4 for Martin, the most static start and finish he's had in a while. Midfield there. Dipsectic with P5. I'm sure he's going to be a little disappointed with his result there, as he battled it out with his heart in race 1 and 2. But great finishes for Dipsectic from compared to where we were a couple weeks ago watching him battle for not last. But great progress made battling for midfield and really in contention for a podium. So all that work and progress that he's been making is not for none there, buddy. That's amazing work. And Blizzard following up in 6, Patrick in 7. Schultze, heart goes out to Schultze again. I don't know what happened, brother, but P8 for you. 42 seconds, almost an entire lap down at this point. And Zumina, I believe that would be an entire lap down on the field, or nearly, in P9. And that is about it for us here at Plebian Racing. I believe this is going to finish off our race chat. If we have anything to review for the replay, we will look at that in another session of this stream. So again, thank you very much everybody for coming out. Hope you enjoyed what you've seen here, and if you want to partake in any of this, go to plebianracing.net and hit the sign up button and join us for our next event, which will be on May 4th. if I'm not mistaken. That looks wrong. Right? No, May 4th. I'm right. In Modena, Italy. I was looking at the wrong page. But anyways, that's all, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out. And if we're going to do a replay stream, you'll see it here shortly. Take care.